Welcome to our Thursday night pack call. I've literally been looking forward to this one for the last 2 weeks. For those of you who don't know, we're gonna have Tanya and Aliza on in about 10 minutes. And it's crazy. I just have to tell you guys how this all happened and let you know that timing is perfect, okay? So I messaged her, I think it was December 28th or December 29th. And I sent her a message and I just said, hey, would you be willing to be a speaker on one of my calls? You know, and she's not in our business. She's a multi-million-dollar earner. And I just had a chance to work with her, and I'll talk a little bit about how we first got connected. And she didn't respond, but I was like, that's okay. I get it. Like, she's busy, you know, it's okay. But the truth is that she never even saw the message until about 2 weeks ago. And she's like, oh my gosh, I'd love to, I'd be honored. Yes, what do you want me to talk about? And I told her a few things, and she said this is actually perfect timing because she's going to be launching how to create your first freebie next week. And so she's like, man, if we could do it on the 18th, then I can like get you guys kind of like in a little bit ahead of time. Not necessarily in, but like the information that we need. So then that way, come the 22nd, those of you who'd like to participate in it, like you kind of have some ideas going into it, what you could do and how it could look for you, okay? So she's gonna be on in just a few minutes, but I wanted to do some housekeeping and some shout outs. So let's start with some shout outs. I want a lot of shout outs. Oh, I disabled, none of you guys can unmute. I'll have to take that off for a minute. But I want like shout outs for smaller things, put them in the chat. But like, who has gone above and beyond and done something maybe that you wouldn't expect, you know? Those ones I want you guys to unmute and share. Like somebody who's like really, really done above and beyond and deserves a public shout out. Will you guys go ahead and we'll do that just for the first few minutes. You should be able to unmute yourselves.
So Caitlin has stepped up and helped run the morning mindset call, even though she got last minute notification at 6 o'clock this morning, but she stepped up quite a few times. And I've seen her lead from the front over the last like month, and it has been phenomenal to watch her grow.
I love that. Thanks, Mandy. Tammy double promoted. She's Ruby today. 2 claps for Tammy. Yay.
Thank you.
I really want to shout out Carrie Ann real quick. You guys, she's been hosting the book club, which personal development is so important. And so for her to take Thursday nights to be able to prep and plan that for everybody is just incredible. And she does so much behind the scenes work for her team that like I didn't even realize, but like every single distributor that comes into her organization, she sends them a product pack, and she's been scheduling and doing one-on-one calls. And it was interesting because one of my distributors that I signed was like, I got these products that I've been using. I'm like, where did you get products from? You haven't even ordered any. What? And it's because Carrie Ann sent them to her. And I just love that she takes care of her distributors, whether they're her personally enrolled or whether they get placed underneath her. I just really appreciate that.
I will shout out Nick McGrath for starting his business the other day, making posts every single day since he has been in business, and even just getting down, downloading all the apps, doing what he needs to do despite his busy schedule. Way to go, Nick.
So good. Yes. Nick, we are so happy to have you, and you're on this call right now. So welcome. Randy's 84 from executive. Anybody else? You guys, like, there's 59 of us on. Recognition is like the most powerful thing you can give your team, you know? So really, really come prepared on Thursdays to shout somebody out, to celebrate someone, even if it's yourself.
I'd like to shout out
Anna for always hosting the evening calls. Like she's always on. And then also I have Claudine and Brienne. They come to my 5:30 in the morning power hour. So they've been really consistent about it. So I just want to shout.
Awesome. I love it. And I know I put heavy stipulations on you guys for unmuting. I get it, right? But like, I want to see the chat blow up, you know, like if the chat is booming, business is booming. That's what I'll always say. Okay. When the chat is booming, business is booming. So you want your business to boom, you got to start blowing up the chat. Okay. Whether it's a pack chat, whether it's a Zoom chat, whether it's your own team chat, blow up the chat to get your business booming. Okay. All right. So a couple of, oh, we got her on. Love it. So a couple of announcements is if you guys have not been through the new distributor training, for the love, okay, please go through that checklist, watch the videos, so that way you know how to train your new people. Our focus this week is really on distributors while we've got our discounted kits. And so you guys, you will have so much more confidence when you know what to expect to train them with. And so the system is simple. You just, you know, they're going to get logged into the pack emails, and it will automatically send them the 2 training documents. So your job is just to make sure that you go through it, so that way you can walk them through it. Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and get started then. So let me find you, Tanya, so I can spotlight you. Oh, there. Okay. So you guys, this is just crazy. So most of you guys were not in the business about 2-3 years ago. And I just get on YouTube and I just search all the time. I'm just searching for what I feel like I need. And Tanya's video popped up. I don't remember which one, but I just started watching her videos on YouTube. And it was always such good content, but then it also had like something to go along with it that I could either physically write it down, or it would take me like step-by-step walkthrough. And me being a school teacher, I loved having a worksheet that I could fill out that would help me build my business. Okay. Super nerdy, but like I needed that. And so I just continued watching her. I started following her on Instagram. I joined her Facebook group that she had, which was just for network marketers, just to help them grow their business. And so I, started watching videos, and then on Instagram, you guys see those ads pop up, right? Where you can join in on a free webinar or something like that. And so then I started attending her live webinars, and it was just so special because I would write in the chat and she would say my name. She would be like, "Oh, Tamika, good question," or "Oh, Tamika, this." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, she said my name." And she's probably just thinking like, it doesn't matter, but I'm over here like fangirling. And I even looked it up on my Instagram for fun. I looked back to the first time I was doing a power hour, and we were listening to her on the power hour, and I took a little screenshot of the video that we were watching, and I posted it in my story, and I said, we always listen to personal development when we're working our business. And she shared my story on her story. And you guys, like, that's when I knew that she was a real person and that she actually cared about people. And so one of these times in December, it was December of 2019, I attended a free webinar that was talking about how to create a funnel. You have a website that you send your people to, and you're able to create a freebie, and then you get them into this funnel and you get them on your email list and this whole thing. And I've been in the business at this time for 5 years. Okay. So this isn't for you guys right now, but I've been in for 5 years, and I wanted something a little bit different, something to add some value. And so I signed up for her mastermind course that was last summer. Well, I guess it started in the spring, and then we were supposed to go to Florida in the summer, but because of COVID, we ended up doing it all online. So I haven't got to meet her yet, but we're going to meet face to face one of these days. But so I took her mastermind course this summer, and I just learned so much. And you guys know I've been raving about her and telling you guys, get on the email list, because you're going to get so much value and so much content. And you guys, she started in network marketing back in 2010. So 11 years ago is when she started, and she started just as a little side hustle, a little side income, like a lot of you guys did. And within a few years, maybe not even years, within a short amount of time, she was able to make $5K monthly income. And I know that for a lot of you guys, that's what you need. That's what you need to be able to be full-time with your family, to be able to quit your jobs, to be able to pay off debt. And so she was quickly able to earn that $5K monthly income. And then now is a multi-million-dollar earner with the business. and is able to help other people learn how to do the same thing. And so I just feel so grateful and so honored that she was willing to pour into all of us tonight and to just share her story, share her knowledge, and then help set us up for success. And so, Tanya, if you want to go ahead and start by sharing any part of your story that you want to, and then whatever you've got planned, we're ready for it.
What's up, Tamika? What's up, girl? I love being with your people. This is so cool. Okay, you guys, I have to tell you, when you have a leader and somebody that you can mentor by, like Tamika, you guys don't take that for granted. Like, a prophet is never recognized in their own hometown, you guys. She is investing in herself for you guys. She is reaching out, like she just on a whim reached out and said, hey, I don't know if you would do this, but would you come on board and like bless my people with some like knowledge bombs on how to grow their business to 5K a month and beyond? And you never get if you never ask, right? So I just basically said, for sure, girl, absolutely. I have grown my business in a way where people think I'm really busy because, you know, being a top earner and, you know, all this, you know, clout that we get when we're, you know, the influencers, all that. I built my business in a way where I have ultimate leverage. And this is the thing that I love doing, is connecting with my people. So Tamika, thank you for having me out. You guys, you know, share some love with her later, because she is an incredible leader investing in herself for you guys. I'm so pumped to be here. And I don't know if anybody has tuned in to any of my stuff at all already. If you have, do like a head nod. This is so cool. COVID has really changed everything. Like, I haven't been able to travel or speak or be with my people or hug people. It's been, so when I get in front of like a Zoom crowd, I get a little nostalgic these days, you guys. So I want to share with you today, I sat and I thought, and I asked Tamika a bunch of questions about, you know, you guys, and to learn a little bit about where you're at right now and where we want to go and how I can best show up today and serve you guys. And so I always come to meetings prepared. So I've got my notes for you guys. I don't take anything that I do lightly. I treat my business like a business. If you guys are going to invest time here, I want it to be absolutely 100% worth it. And I'm going to give you some strategies that you can go immediately and implement right after this training that will hopefully generate you more interest and attract an engaged audience of perfect buyers to your business. Are you guys pumped? Yes? Okay, Tamika, how much time do we have? I don't think I clarified that with you. I want to make sure I'm respecting your time allotment here.
We go till 9 p.m. Central Time.
Cool. Okay, so that'll be perfect. And in the meantime as well, like, feel free to use the chat or however you guys normally manage. If you have any questions along the way, if we've got a little bit of time, Tamika, I'm more than happy to pour in and help your people as best I can. So I'll share with you guys a little bit. If you don't know who I am, it's really great to meet you. I am Tanya Aliza. I live in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, with my better half and our 3 fur babies that are like full-time jobs for us. But I have been in the network marketing space since actually 2019, but I've been building, or 2009, but I've actually been building online since 2010. And I was one of the black sheep back in the day that came to social media before social media was cool. And my network marketing leaders actually like shunned me from the team because I was learning social media. Can you guys believe that? Like, back in the day, I'm dating myself. So I actually came to use the internet to try to find people because I had an opportunity to move down to Costa Rica. And I, at that point, had been building my business for about a year. I was able to retire my job as a finance specialist. I'd been doing that for 6 years, and I was working to the bone. Like, I was 6 days, sometimes 7 days a week, 12-hour shifts. The money was good, but I had no time. So when my girlfriend, Michelle, back when I lived in Canada, from Vancouver, she called me up and she said, Tanya, I'd love for you to meet some people. And it was that meeting where I got exposed to network marketing for the first time. And when they told me how much money that they were making and what it was that they were doing, the one thing I said was, are you sure you're making that much money? Because it was double what I was making. And then I asked them what they were doing and they were working about half as much. And I'm like, okay, I need my time back. And so if you're talking to professionals, you guys, and you should always be looking for influencers or people to like recruit up in your business, because if you recruit up in your business, those people tend to move the business faster, not always, but they have the opportunity and ability to move faster. So people ask me, what's the number one success in network marketing? And one of the things that I will always say is recruit up. Like, go after people who have some sort of influence. And I'll share with you guys some strategy on that, because back in the day before social media existed and before the term influencer even existed, what that meant for me was I needed to enroll people or talk to people in my like social sphere, which at the time I was 20 something years old. I looked like I was 12 years old building a business. No one was taking me seriously when I was talking business. So it was really difficult and challenging for me back in the day. But I understood that I had good mentors and I actually listened to them. So like when they said for me to do something, even though it was uncomfortable the first maybe 20 times I did it, I did it. And so that's how I was able to retire my job in about 1 year of growing my network marketing business. I wasn't making that much money. I was making good money. I was making about $56,000 a year. Probably about $56,000 a year. So that wasn't bad, straight network marketing income. And then I had an opportunity to move to Costa Rica, and my business that I was building didn't operate in Costa Rica. So I was like, okay, I want to take this opportunity, but I need to find a way to get myself in front of people on the internet who are looking for the benefits of my product and service, what that can provide, so that I can talk to them about my products and services and still gain new customers and teammates through my customer acquisition. So that's kind of how I got started with online and with social media. And I believe now, like, I just think about all that I had to do to grow my network marketing business back in the day before social media. It was hard, you guys. I was going from living room to living room to living room, flip charts, PowerPoints, samples. It was expensive, it was time consuming, and it was hard. And anybody that thinks that growing a network marketing business now is hard with social media and all this exposure, it's only because we're just not maybe doing it right. And right now, I think it's simple. It's not necessarily easy. It's definitely easier, but it's simple. But you have to have a very consistent plan every single day. And that is the difference between a top earner and somebody who's an aspiring top earner. It's just what activities are they actually implementing every single day on a consistent basis. So you've got to like plan your work, and then you've got to work your plan. So I'm curious if you guys can use the chat and let me know where it is that you're mainly showing up to grow your business on social media. Like, are you using mainly Facebook or Instagram? Or I'm very curious. And so lots of Facebook, some Instagram. Of course, like Facebook's like the Goliath. We got some TikToks, Reels, Facebook. Okay, cool. So everything that I'm going to share with you is applicable to any of those platforms, okay? So I want to let you know that there is two ways to grow your business, and it depends on what your goals are. So if you have a goal to make, let's say, like $500 a month in your business, do you need to do the same thing that people who want to make $5,000 a month needs to do? And the answer is no, you don't. So if you are, and you have to adjust your activities for your goals, right? So if you have big goals, your activities have to match what your goals are. So number one, you got to know where you're going. And then, so make that plan. And I would say, okay, monetarily, how much do you want to make a month? Write that down. And then you've got to know volume wise in your team, or even on personal production. And there's many different ways that you guys get paid, right? There's first order bonuses, and every network marketing company is relatively the same. You have lots of different ways in your comp plan that you make your monthly and weekly checks, right? So you've got first order bonuses, you got team volume every month, all that, whatever it is. But have a discussion with your mentor, whoever it is that you're working with here. Have a discussion and say, if I want to make $5,000 a month or $2,000 a month, what volume do I need to be at? And you've got to know this, because I talk to so many people who are in network marketing and they'll say, I want to make $5,000 a month. And I said, okay, based on your comp plan, what volume do you need to do that? And lots of people are like, I don't know. So you got to know the volume so that you can break it down and you know relatively what it takes and how long it's going to take to get there. And then you can kind of reverse engineer what you need to do on a daily basis and what activity output you need to make that happen. So if you don't yet know what volume is going to get you monetarily where you need to go, that's going to be step one, is figure that out and then work on that. Work on adjusting your activity plan to suit that income goal and that volume goal, because you're really needing to focus on volume. So there's two ways to build your business. And I've been doing both ways. I've done both ways to get started when I got started. The first way is active prospecting. And then the other way is passive prospecting, right? So every time you do a social media post and you have a call to action on that social media post, whether it's, hey, drop me a DM, give me a comment below if you'd like more information or whatever. If you think about all of those pieces of content that you're creating as fishing lines in the water that are going to draw in people over time to you. And the more fishing lines you have in the water compounded over time, the more your passive prospecting is going to start to really kind of take over maybe what you would have to do actively. So for me, and like Tamika said in the beginning, yes, I've taught her and I teach a select group of people every year how to build their email list and how to have a freebie that people opt in for so that they can have a, automated follow-up that happens, and having those call to actions bring you all those leads. But when you're doing that, when you're, putting out your posts, that doesn't mean that you have to, that you sit and you wait for that to happen before you do anything, right? So for me, I have a plan, and I want to, is it okay if I share that plan with you, your daily plan? Because every day I have people that DM me that says, even on my team or, other network marketers and other companies, they say, if I just knew what I had to do when I sat down at my computer every single day and I had a plan or a checklist, that would help me, because I find myself like, I know I need to do stuff in my business and I sit down on my computer or I pick up my phone or whatever. And I'm like, what do I do? So here's the plan. And it's so simple. It's 4 things. Okay. And then you can take notes, or I'll also give you a place where you can download my plan and my tracker. Okay. So the first thing that you have to do before that, time block. Okay. So before I give you my steps, you got to have blocks of time that are solely dedicated to you building your business. So everyone has different schedules. So for you, based on everything else that you have going on in your life and your family and all the extracurriculars, what is an hour or 2 hours, or what is your time block every day that you are dedicating solely to money-making activities for your business? And that means you put a sock on the door, you tell your family, do not disturb, because, I am building residual wealth for the family. Give me an hour. So what is that for you? So for me, when I first got started, like I said, I was 6-7 days a week, 12-hour days. I only had early mornings and lunchtime to do this. So I would be like, okay, I'm doing an hour here and I'm just going to get up a little bit earlier. And then I'm doing an hour on my lunch break. And I'm just going to do what I can in those periods of time. But it's important what you do is only money-making activities, because I know we can get stuck watching funny cat videos on TikTok all day long. And then we're like, where did 2 hours go? Right? I'm like, I need to learn that dance move. But it's not a money-making activity. So time block time block your essentials here. So in that time block that you have, what is it exactly that you're doing? So this can take as little as 60 minutes a day, 90 minutes if maybe you have bigger goals. That's how simple this can be, but you really have to stay focused. So the first thing that you're going to do when you sit down and you're like time block to build the business and you're doing it on social is you're going to warm the algorithm for 5 to 10 minutes. So what does that mean, warming the algorithm? It just means that we're trying to get Facebook or Instagram or TikTok to give you more exposure for your posts to the right people. So there's so many people out there that are posting and they're not working the social media platform. And so the social media platform is not showing your post to anybody because they're like, hey, this person's just showing up as a taker, not a giver. We're not going to show their post to anybody. So what you want to do is you want to take 5 to 10 minutes before you post anything on social for the day and warm the algorithm. Go to your friends' feeds, like, comment, and share on other people's posts. That's warming the algorithm. So now Facebook goes, oh, this person's engaging. That show more of their stuff because they're using the platform like we want our users to use the platform. You basically get favored a little bit. So this helps you to get your post seen by more people, which is ultimately what we want. So take 5 to 10 minutes to do that. I literally have a timer on my phone. I set it for 5 to 10 minutes and then it goes off. Tamika knows because she was at my mastermind where we literally set a timer. And when that timer is done, we're done. So we have to get it done in that time frame, right? So then the next thing, the second thing that you're going to do after you have that the timer goes off is you're going to take 10 minutes maximum and you're going to do your daily social media post. And this is wherever you guys are most active. So wherever your people are, you go there. If it's Instagram, if it's Facebook, if it's your Facebook page, it's wherever your people are, wherever you're comfortable. Okay. And then, so a lot of people say, Tanya, what do you post? My life sucks and it's boring right now. Who the heck is going to pay attention? So most days my life is super boring, but then I have to make it fun, right? It's a good thing. So what I do is I have 5 categories that I like to rotate my posts around, right? Yes. Carrie Ann, 1 post a day at least, by the way. So 1 post a day, you want to do 7 posts a week. If you're not posting every day, you're just not going to be seen on social as much. So you have to. So I have 5 categories that I rotate. And so these are not business all the time, you guys. Now, I will caveat this. If you go to my personal Facebook page, you won't see much of me implementing this just because I don't use my personal profile really at all. I'm mostly active over on Instagram or my business page on Facebook. So if you're trying to be like, I want to go see what Tanya's doing, those are the better places to look and see this implemented. My personal profile, it's kind of dead. It's where you put your focus is where you'll get your result. So five categories. So what is it for you? So here's how you figure out what these categories are. Think about who you want to attract into your world. And this isn't just thinking, I need you guys to think outside the box of beyond just what you're selling. Because you're not just selling health and wellness. You're selling lifestyle, and who is good for lifestyle? It's pretty much just people like you. If you saw the opportunity, then you want to get in front of other people just like you. And so you want to think about the things that maybe you're into. So it might be some people say faith, family, business, health and wellness, fitness. or whatever it is for you. So figure out 5 categories that you're like, I'm into this kind of stuff and I want to attract other people that are into this kind of stuff too. So for me, I'll post sometimes about my family or my dog Loya. Sometimes I'll post about like new and exciting things going on. Really good post idea is like sharing stories, whether it's your story or a customer story, third party story, interview a customer that's had a success story, do a live, do an interview. So many things that you can do. And then I'll give you a pro tip in a minute when it comes to like planning on these posts. But really just think about who it is that you want to attract. Now, out of the 7 posts a week, I typically do 3 posts, sometimes 4, that will have a specific call to action in regarding like saying, hey, if you want to learn more about XYZ. But most of my posts are like, you think about being on social, people are on social to be social, not to get sold. So every time they see like buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, they're tuning out. Like, so what you got to do is you got to go, okay, I know why people are showing up on Facebook. Let's just give them what they want. They want to be entertained. They want to see cool stories. They want to be inspired. They want to be educated. They want value. So then you want to show up with value for them, not like buy my stuff. This is great. Oh my gosh, So, but you can have a direct call to action like this. You would post, a third party story. Be like, hey, I want to share this story of my friend Cora. Cora is and then insert what profession she is, or just a little bit about her background, and then share the success story that Cora had either using your product or being in the business. And a success story does not have to be big. It can be a very small win, a very small win. A small win could even just be the fact that you have an opportunity now in your hands where everyone else is getting laid off during COVID and a pandemic. And you actually are empowered with the knowledge of and the opportunity of having something that can supplement, so that you're not having to face all of these like crazy hard times, right? That could be a win. People could be like reading that story on your social and go, man, I'm feeling really insecure at work right now. Maybe I should tune in because it looks like these guys have something. And that's not like a measurable win, but that's a story win. That's an emotional win, right? So think about those kinds of things. So you're going to do your post, right? You do your post because we want to get seen on social. And then you want to engage. Now, so the third step is engage almost immediately. You don't want to like post and then ghost, right? That's just taking on the platform. We want to give. And I did a social experiment couple of months ago, maybe a month ago now, where it was a Sunday, and Sundays are normally my lowest engagement days for me and my audience. And I said, I'm going to post and I'm going to share this heartfelt story on my Instagram. And then I also shared it on my Facebook as well, the same post. And I'm going to post it. And then people that are liking and commenting, I'm going to immediately engage with them, like immediately. And I'm going to see, because people were saying like warm the algorithm, like these other social media coaches were saying warm the algorithm. And then they were also saying like immediately engage. And I was like, I wonder if that's true. So I tried it and I was immediately engaging with people who were liking. I was asking, what did they like most? Like, thank you so much for liking my post. I'm curious, what did you like most? Right? Get your people talking to you. They would comment like, oh, great post. This is awesome. I'm like, great. Tell me more. Like, what did you like specifically about it? And I started creating two-way dialogue in the comments. Well, my algorithm must have blew up, because in that one day, there was like 400 likes on this thing. Like, it was absolutely crazy. So I said to myself, it is true that when you immediately engage and you start two-way dialogue with your people on your post that you just posted on social, Facebook, Instagram, they like that. They like that a lot. And then they show your post to more people who are like the people that are already commenting, engaging, which is cold audience, which is amazing. And just make sure that you definitely have your profile, your Facebook or your Instagram profile set to public. Because if you don't have it set to public, only your friends are seeing that, and that's no bueno. That's not how you get out there in the news feed. So just make that note if you're not too sure. My sister's news feed the other day was, I noticed she said something and I'm like, your news feed set to private. You have a business, don't you want to set to public? And she's like, oh, I didn't know. And then I told her where to go change that. So interesting. The fourth activity, the fourth step. So that takes 5 or 10 minutes. So timer goes on 5 or 10 minutes. I'm going to engage. The fourth activity is active reach outs and follow up. And I want to give you my strategy on this because it's going to be a little overwhelming if you don't have like a plan in place for it. And I know for me, if something becomes overwhelming, I just don't do it. So I have to find a way to make things simple so I stay doing it. So for me, active reach outs and follow up is between 30 and 60 minutes. So my timer goes on. This is the most important part. So what are you doing? Active follow-ups. So you're finding all of your like past posts, engagement, and you're interacting with people. And then you're following up with anybody that you have in your pipeline. So for me, I believe, and you guys might have heard this already, probably so, but I'm going to say it again, is you need to have some sort of list that you are keeping track of all of your people on. If you don't have a list or anything that you're keeping track of all of your people on and where they're at in the process with you, where they're in conversation with you, you are not in business. Like, I'm just going to tell you, like, straight up, like, keeping it 100, like, you are not in business if you don't have that list. So me, I have, and I don't care how you keep the list. I mean, so many people ask me like, what CRM do you use? I literally use a Google Sheet. It's free 90 free. And I can log in from any of my devices and I can just add people really quickly. But I don't care if you have a notebook that you keep in your people on. It could really be as simple as that. But my organization goes like this. This is how drop dead simple it is. One column, their name. The next column, notes. That's it. So if I come across somebody who I'm having a conversation with or I'm starting dialogue with, their name goes on that list. And on the notes section, I'm typically keeping track of a couple of different notes with them. The couple of different notes is, started conversation, asked them a question. So I'm like waiting for them to follow back up with me. Or I have invited them to come and take a look. Tamika, do you guys use a Facebook group to do like your presentations, or what's your presentation flow go like?
We do different online parties throughout the month for distributors and for customers.
So if you have somebody that's interested and they're like, yes, I'm interested, tell me more, what's your flow with them?
We invite them to the online party where they can learn more.
Cool. So very similar to what we do. So what you want to do is just keep track of those people that you've asked if they're open. So I've like asked if they're open, and then I make that note. And then if they are in the presentation, like invited to the presentation, that would be another note, basically where they're at in the process with you. And then, if you invited them to the presentation, you got to follow up with them. So then, you'll know how, based on your presentation, how long, immediately after, like follow up with them. And then I'm like followed up and then asked if they saw an opportunity for themselves. That would be a note. So basically I'm just keeping little date stamp notes. And the reason why this is very important, and you guys will notice as you start to build this out, is because you're only blocking 30 to 60 minutes for this, right? So then when you sit down at your desk to do this tomorrow, you're going to pull up that list and you're going to look at where everybody is in the process and who you need to follow up with. You're going to go like, oh, Laloni was, I invited her yesterday. I need to go to my messenger and see what she said. So then you pull up your messenger, and then, so it's really fast. It's not like so if you see that list, you can go to your messenger and find that person. So you're not in your messenger all day long, because that's like busy work and it can be consuming, but you're in your list all day long. So that's how, you work that's how I've worked my list. And I was able to reach the top level of the network marketing company that I'm with now in 120 days by doing this, right? This is how powerful it is. And because you're going to notice, like, the more activity that you put in, you're going to start getting like you're going to be busy enough with like people through the pipeline. All right.
Can I
Yep.
reiterate a couple of things and maybe ask for some clarification? Because a couple of things that you say, a lot of it definitely goes with what we do. Like, we've been preaching the follow-up. We have these set systems where people can plug in their prospects too, because
Cool.
it's so important to take them from exposure to exposure and having that list and where they are in the closing process. Because I think that a lot of people feel like, oh, I'm just going to ask them once and then they're going to get back to me when they have the money. They don't understand the importance of plugging them into the different things to keep them on the line and going. And I don't want people to hear that, you guys, she doesn't just post once a day. Okay. She's got emails that are going out. She's doing live videos. She's posting on multiple platforms. But I feel like with most of us where they're starting out is they may make a post, but there's no engagement on it. And so, like, what would be your strategy? Yes, we can warm the algorithm. Yes, making the posts that have the value is going to be so important. But then, for 3 and 4, where we're engaging, what happens when there's nobody who's liking or commenting because our markets aren't big yet? And then where do we go for active reach outs if we don't have anyone tugging on our lines?
So there's a couple of things. I mean, when you're starting any business, and I don't care if it's in network marketing or traditional business, when you're starting out and you're building your foundation, you're getting scrappy, right? And what I mean by scrappy is, I mean, you're in groups, you're looking for people to start conversation with. Now, I will say this, here are two things that I love that will help you. Because everybody is in groups and prospecting in groups, and it can get a little annoying, right? Because when people are prospected in groups, it's like, oh, another one, like trying to get me into their business to buy their stuff. You got to do this right. And so, is there anybody on that is doing Facebook Lives or IGTVs or lives or anything like that? So right now, if you do one live a week with valuable information, and you consistently do that over the next 6 to 12 months, you will have a very big following that you almost won't be able to keep up with. And your first 10 lives might not have anyone on there. Maybe your mom will show up. My mom would show up, and then she got bored of my lives. She was like, I'm out of here. Then I had one, then I had none. And then I was like, okay, but we're going to keep doing. So I created a show called Tuesday with Tanya Live. So it was conditioning my audience to know that I'm showing up live every Tuesday at 8 p.m. East Coast time. And I'm showing up and I'm giving value related to this kind of information. So I figured out a topic that I really like talking about that was congruent with what it was that I was selling. And then on my live, I would deliver value like tips or strategies. And I would attract that kind of person that's interested in those benefits. And then the kind of fuel to all of this was I did start putting together freebies, like Tamika was saying. And you see people all the time come up with freebies that are congruent and in line with what it is that they're selling. And they're saying to people, hey, would you like, my freebie on XYZ? And then when you offer it, people get on your email list, and that's kind of like automated follow-up. But even if you didn't have the email list part of it right away, and you just had a freebie that you created that you could offer as value to people, that would bring people into your world that was interested in the benefits that you were trying to attract them for. So let me break this down. What is one of your hero products that you guys lead with, Tamika?
Probably the Skinny Brew coffee would be
Cool.
would be a
And
simple-
when people take the Skinny Brew coffee, when they drink it, what are some, I know there's probably many, but like, what are some of the major hit home benefits people experience?
energy all day long, only needing 1 cup. It's convenient because it's on the go, and then it's got nootropics for brain boosting.
Okay, cool. So who would be really, well, you said energy. Is it like a sustained energy,
Mm-hmm.
or is it
That's
like
2.5 times more caffeine than regular coffee. And then
Okay.
it also helps get your body into thermogenesis to help with weight loss.
wicked cool? So people who are interested in having more energy and weight loss effects, right? So this is what this product does. It's not what it is, but what it does, right? So what could we create? And this is how I work with some of my clients, right, guys? So this is me just working with you. If you had this product that you were selling, I would say, what could we create that would attract people who are interested in more energy and losing some weight, right? Do you think, and there's many different groups of people that you could do, but yes, I love the comments that are coming in, moms, teachers, nurses, and you could create a freebie for all of them if you wanted to, like a different one for all of them, because you can speak to their needs, wants, and desires. So maybe like you wanted to create a freebie and you're like, I want to attract new moms because they're probably struggling to get the baby weight off and they're needing more energy because the baby's sucking the life out of them, right? So you could create like a new mom, and this is just me throwing this out there. I spent a little bit of time with it, but you could say, you know, the new moms get your energy back. The new mom's guide to getting your energy back and fitting back into your skinny mom jeans or something like that, right? And then it could be, as simple as this. You could say 4 foods or 7 foods to incorporate into your day or into your diet that help with blasting fat away or whatever, right? Help with increasing your energy and helping you to stay fuller longer so that you can shed the pounds and get back into your skinny mom jeans faster. So you put this little food guide together. Go to Google, do a little bit of research and find out what are some cool foods, and we could create this list for new moms that would help them, stay fuller longer, lose some weight and get some energy. And Google's going to go and tell you, you're not an expert in this, so just go to Google and find 7 foods that would help make this possible for moms and put it together in like a little swipe guide for them. Now, when you're on social, you present some of your content in a way, or even when you're in groups that maybe new moms are hanging out in and you're talking to some of these new moms, instead of saying, hey, do you want to buy my product? You could say, hey, by the way, I've got this really cool, like, mom, get your skinny back guide that I've created. That's 7 cool foods that you could incorporate into your diet that would help you increase your energy, get your skinny back, get into those like sexy mom jeans again. And I don't know if you're interested, but if you are, let me know. It's free. I'd love to share it with you. So then people come into your world and they see you as a person of value. They see you as a credible expert instead of you just trying to sell your stuff to them like everybody else on social. And people start saying, I want that. I want that. I want that. Now, what is the difference between the people that say that they want that versus the people that you're just trying to like hunt for? If they want that, that they want more energy and they want to lose weight, which is your perfect potential buyers. So then after they, request it, there's a few different things that you can do on the back end. But even in the guide, you can type this guide up on like, Word document or go to Canva, don't spend too much time on it. My very first guide that I ever created took me 60 minutes. It looked like a grade 2 did it. It's generated me probably $800,000 in income since 2014. So this just does work, and it positions yourself very differently so that and now in the guide, one of the 7 foods that you're going to recommend is your skinny coffee. And you're going to leave a link there, your affiliated link with It Works, and they're going to click it and they're going to be able to go to your buy page and buy it, right? Now there's a couple of different advanced things that you can do with this. I love this. So courses, you just gave me so many new ideas. Cassandra says, I love it. Sounds good. And the reason why you see all of these, professional marketers online giving away free webinars or free, freebies or guides or checklists or cheat sheets is because it works. It works to grow an audience of perfect engaged buyers, and it positions you as the credible expert. And when you're positioned as a credible expert, people want to listen to your recommendations and suggestions when you make them and when you offer your product and service. I asked Tamika, she said, oh, I really want you to share this because it's really helped me, having the freebie funnel and things like that to attract people. And I told her, I said, your timing's pretty cool because I have a free Facebook challenge starting on March 1st, but you'll hear about it next week. We don't have anything right now, but it's coming. And it's a 5-day buyer attraction challenge. It's called Growth Camp. And so it's free, and we're going to have this group, and every day for 5 days, I'm going to come out on a 15-minute video, and I'm going to share with you how to put together the best freebie for your product and service, whatever it is that you're selling for your audience, how to name it so that it intrigues people and people go, oh, I want that, because there is an art to naming it properly, right? Tamika knows we worked on like hooks and titles. And this is, by the way, Tamika paid thousands and thousands of dollars to learn this from me. So I'm doing a free challenge. I hope you guys see the value in it. But I think more than ever, I get so passionate about list building with leading with value and actually helping you to build an asset in your business that can serve you forever and ever and ever, right? And this is the way to do it. So anyways, keep an eye out for that. And then Tamika, I don't know if you want to post in the chat, but if you guys, here's a way that you'll be first to know when we go live with the challenge. I'll give you guys my social media selling guide, which is the 4 steps with the tracker. And you can go to tanyaaliza.com/SM plan, social media plan, SM plan, tanyaaliza.com/SM plan. And this has a cool little daily tracker in it as well. So you can just like check off every day that you do one of the activities. And, I like to check things off and it keeps me accountable. But then it also has the 4 things that you do along with some additional resources. But if you opt in for this, the first, I think it's going to be February 23rd, we will send an email out to everybody that the challenge is live and you can register for it. And we start March 1st and we go to March 5th. And by the end of that, you should have a freebie that you have put together that delivers value that will draw in perfect buyers to you and add a lot of credibility and authority to what it is that you're doing. So when I do my Facebook Lives and when I'm doing my posting, I'm always delivering a call to action for my freebie, because I believe people will buy from you. They want to buy, they just don't want to be sold. So if you give them value first and you position yourself that way, when you make your recommendations and suggestions, they listen and they go, oh, that was so valuable that Tamika shared with me that one day when I found her on Facebook Live, and she shared so much value with me and she gave me this really cool resource and it was awesome. Of course, I'm going to take her suggestion when she tells me to buy something. And that was exactly Tamika, her story with me, right? I was offering stuff for free. She came into my world. She's purchased stuff from me. So it works. You guys can see it firsthand. So I want you to have that working for you guys and flip it, right? Have that working with people coming to you in that regard. So was that valuable for you guys at all? A little bit of a plan? I mean, I could go on forever on social media stuff, but sometimes there is a point of diminishing return. We need to actually now go and take action with the stuff that we learned. And if you guys just start with that 4-step plan, if you find value, come join me in the challenge. That could give you a good kickstart for sure. Absolutely. Any questions? I'm happy to answer for sure.
Yeah, so there's a couple questions. The first one I'll get to, it'll be pretty quick, but time for live. Is there a sweet spot? How long you should be going live for?
Yeah, so there is a sweet spot of about 45 minutes. I know that's a long time. But when we look at our lives, my Tuesday lives that I do, we look at the analytics and watch time. It maxes and peaks out and is at its top at about the 40 to 45 minute mark. So I'm doing about 40, 45 minute lives, because if you think about it, you go live, you know, Facebook has so many data points on people. It's not even funny. It's actually really scary. So as people are tuning in and they're liking, they're commenting, they're engaging, Facebook is taking a little while to collect that data to find out who else is most like those people that they can show this video to, because they only want to show content to their viewers that they're going to be interested in. So they do that by similarity data points in the algorithm. So yeah, that's the sweet spot. But I don't care if you only have 5 minutes to go live. It's better than not going live. Do it.
Right. And you got to have the content to go live for 45 minutes. And so, you know, as for most of us starting out, I don't even think we could talk to like our best friend for 45 minutes sometimes, but you know, having the content through, you know, your personal development, through what you're studying, what you're learning, what you're passionate about. You guys remember what she said, that she found something that she would be passionate about to be able to talk and research so that she could go live every Tuesday at the same time. And so I just kind of want to circle back around, because I know where everybody is in this business, and some of the things that you've shared tonight, I know that some are ready to level up and definitely take it to the next level and do a little bit more passive work. But I think that a lot of us need to go back to active in the sense of, what do you want to make? What does that take in volume? What does that take in rank? And then reverse engineering it back to, what do you need to do consistently on a daily basis? Because, you know, as I'm flipping through these screens, I would say less than half of us are consistent with the basics that we need to do. And so figuring out what that goal is, and then making sure that we're consistent, and then moving on from there. And we have to keep our pipeline full. So warm up our algorithms, make valuable posts, and then be able to engage right away. That's going to be key. And then have that follow-up list. I know I beat up on Kelly Jo and Mandy a lot, because I've been doing it since the start, and I've got 6 years of hundreds and thousands of people to follow up with. And, you know, Mandy just started in July and Kelly Jo just started last year, and they, now they realize how much they've missed out on. And so you guys right now, like, she's a multi-million-dollar earner. She's writing it, you know, she's got it on a Google document. Find your system that's going to work and then do it. So, if you guys have any other questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. But I just kind of want to end with, you know, we always talk about belief in yourself, belief in your products, and belief in the network marketing itself. And I know that you've worked with a lot of people, and you've seen people go from being in probably a really horrible spot in life, and then being able to come out of it because of the work that they did, and, you know, the growth, and that it's not easy. I think that you said that at the very beginning, like what we do is simple, but it's really, really not easy. If you're looking for easy money, you know, it is and it isn't. So what would you say to that?
You have to believe in what it is that you're doing. And unfortunately, you hear that all the time, and I think it's just very cliche. I will be honest with you, and I will say that your belief goes up when your check goes up too. I'm just going to be honest. I mean, some of you guys, the check's not there yet, and then your belief is down here, but you're like, hey, if the check is here, my belief would kind of come up the same level. And that's a hard place to be in. And then the only way to get out of that is, I'm going to challenge you to, like, 7 days, like, just take 7 days of all out massive action. And what that means is, I mean, if you asked anybody in network marketing, including all of the top earners, hey, have you talked to everybody on your friends list yet? Have you pinged them yet? Everybody would say, no, we haven't talked to everybody. There's always people there, right? So, take, like, this is a big challenge for those. I'm going to speak to those people that have a goal of 3,000, 5,000 or more a month in their horizon. So this is going to be for you guys. Take 100 people this week off your list and put it on your list, like on your friends list, like take 100 people you haven't talked to yet or pinged or asked if they were specifically open, and put them on the list. Just saying hello to somebody isn't asking if they're open. So 100 people, this is going to be like, this is going to create your foundation. And then take that 100 people and start messaging them and asking if they're open. Hey, I thought of you. I saw your post on Facebook the other day. I was scrolling through your news feed. You popped up. You came to mind. I'm curious. Are you still doing X, or are you still living here? Ask a question where they're going to engage back with you. They're going to engage back, and then you're going to say, hey, listen, the reason why I wanted to connect is I have something that I think you might really be interested in taking a look at. At least it got me really excited when it crossed my desk, and I'm completely fired up about it. I have no idea if you're going to fall in love as much as I did, but I at least have to have a conversation with you. Are you open to doing that? And then there's a yes, they're going to say no. People are going to say no. I've thousands of people that have said no to me. The more successful you are doesn't mean that people say yes all the time. It just means we got more no's. That's all, right? And start that all out massive action, because what's going to happen is you're going to start to get detached from the result if you're just in massive activity mode. You're like, that person said no, good, I can cross them off my list, because I like crossing things off my list and getting stuff done. Yes, okay, that guy said yes, that girl said yes. Like, you're moving and shaking like a business owner, and like somebody who's actually like, wanting to make that check. Here's what will happen. This is the beauty of network marketing. You're doing that for a short season. So how I hit the top level of my company in 120 days, I actually had a goal to do it in 90 days. I didn't quite make it. It was 120, but hey, I'm okay. I still did it. I had a goal. If you're shooting for, you have to have that goal, so you have nowhere to go. And I said to myself, I need to focus on, to hit that goal, what I need to focus on is 5 presentations a day. Like, that was my goal. I need 5 presentations a day. So I'm not going to sleep until I have 5 people put into our presentation and I know they're taking a look. That's my goal for the day. And I don't care how many people I have to talk to get that done. At least I don't have to pound pavement anymore. And it's easy for me to just hop in Messenger. How easy is that, right? And so what ended up happening is I just filled my pipeline. Like, I filled it fast that I was just like, doom. I'm like, people are signing up, this, that, like, and then I hit it in 120 days. And what I also did was I built that solid foundation. I had about 3 or 4 leaders that came on from that activity that actually took the business seriously and did something with it. And now, I will be honest, I don't do a lot of active building anymore in my network marketing company, but my check still grows every single month. So your confidence will come from just your activity, like, and your belief comes from your activity, because the results will come from your activity, and then your belief is going to come from your activity and your results. So it's a little cliche to say, like, yes, you definitely have to love your product. I mean, you guys all love your product. I don't need to tell you to love your product. You love your product. You're here. There's a reason why you said yes. You're not going to represent something that you don't love. So you're here. You already love it. But you're being stingy with your goodness, especially now if you're not going out there and sharing this with more people every single day. So build your foundation. I will challenge you to the 100 list challenge in the next 7 days. It's a lot, but whatever. Is your future, is your dreams, is your goals worth it? I don't know. You'll know.
I love that. I love it, love it, love it. Okay, just quick questions and then we'll let you go. I really appreciate your time. Do you want to, if you have any advice on when you don't have support at home, if your husband or spouse isn't on board, and then what if people that you've invited to a group joined, but then they don't answer you back?
So if you don't have support, like just get divorced. I mean, you don't need that. It's terrible advice. I know it's what you wish you could say, right? But you can't. Pack the bags tonight. Tanya said, I'm gonna have people knocking at my door. No, that's it's a tough one, but I don't know what you can try to do, and this doesn't always work. So you're going to say, well, it's easy for her to say, because you're not living my life and I don't want to be that person to you. But I will say, if they don't support you, it might just be because they're just misinformed and you're maybe not communicating well with them enough. I'm in the middle right now of a product launch, and I have been working like 15-hour days. And it's a season. I know, like I knew from November to end of March, that's my season for this product launch. And I sat down with Christian before I even started the launch. And I said, look, hun, things are going to be tough for about 4 months between us. You're not going to see me a lot, but here's why I'm doing this. And I shared why. Dreams, like here's so we can do this, so we can do that, like here's so I can impact and inspire. And so I had all these, and I was very clear in my communication. And then there was a time frame that I kind of gave, like, here's my season and here's what you can expect. And here's why I'm doing this. Honestly, if you go into talking to any spouse with the love and compassion, and if they truly are the right person for you, they'll look at that and be like, thank you for communicating that with me. I see where we're going. And we have a start date. We have a stop date. Okay, like I can see this, right? And here's how we're going to celebrate. So, but sometimes like if they just see us moving and moving and moving and they don't see an end, or they don't know where we're going, it's hard for them to navigate that with you. So again, you've got to be clear with where you're navigating. So
And I'll just tag
Caitlin,
onto that real quick too, because I've seen it so many times, is you guys, you can't say that you're going to do something and then when the time ends, you didn't do it. Like you have got to be all in and you have to get your results, because so many of us talk about it, but then it never happens. And so then they don't believe because you lied, so, okay, sorry. But
and
that happens
that's
a lot.
true. That's true as well. You gotta bring home the bacon, and then they'll smell it, right? So, but also like, hey, I'm gonna be real. Like businesses, including in network marketing, we're in a business. Like it takes time to get legs and grow and get off the ground. That's normal, right? Just don't make it 10 years. What was the other one? What was the other question?
When people don't respond to you, if they get accepted into the group.
So you're doing a presentation and then they don't respond, right? Two things. Sometimes you can't do anything. Sometimes you can. I tighten up my process a little bit where I don't actually give people the information until we have a date and time confirmed to when they're going to review it. So I actually set up my presentations a little bit differently because I have a little more posture. I recommend that you do as well. And I would say, awesome. I'm glad that you're interested. I'm excited to share with you. It takes about 15, 20 minutes to go through the information, insert whatever time frame it is for you. How soon do you think if I put you in the information, you'll be able to take a look at it? How soon can you take a look at it? And then they're going to say, I'm going to look at it tonight or tomorrow. See, there's a book that you guys need to all get if you don't already have it. And it's called The Psychology of Influence by Robert Cialdini. This thing is like how to win friends and influence people on steroids. Like it makes that look like child's play. And it's basically the 6 human triggers, the 6 human psychological triggers that get people to take action and make decisions. And as a marketer, as a human, you're influencing people all the time, your kids, your husband, your wife, whatever. You need to not influence them. So influence there's one psychological trigger in there called commitment and consistency. So when somebody makes a commitment to out loud, they tend to be very consistent with it. So I get my prospects to make that commitment out loud to me. So if I say, how soon can you take a look at it? And they tell me they're going to look at it tonight and I follow up tomorrow, I get a lot more people that are consistent with that commitment that they made. So there's that. And then, so that will tighten it up, and that does help, because if you're throwing everybody just in for the information and they don't know when to expect the next step, you're setting them up to fail. So you got to say, okay, here's the next step. I'm going to put you into this group, and then you're going to watch the information. If you can look at it tonight, I'm going to follow up with you tomorrow, and I'm going to answer any questions that you have and see, and get some feedback from you. Cool. And then they're going to say, yes, that's another commitment. And then when you do that, they're more likely to stay consistent with that commitment that they made from you. And then some of them are just going to completely ghost you. And that's fine, because that happens to me too. I typically will send 2 messages. My last message will be like, hey, I'm going to cross you off my list. Please let me know if you're okay, because I'm worried about you. We're supposed to meet, but I'm going to cross you off my list for now. And maybe if things change, reach back out to me. And I've actually had a lot of people reach back out and say, don't cross me off the list. Like, I didn't give you permission to cross me off my list, off your list. Like, you can't cross, I can only give you permission to cross me. It's a psychological thing, and it works. And then some people they'll ghost you forever. And then that's just whatever, that's life. Sometimes my mom ghosts me forever.
I love it. And
That's okay.
I seriously appreciate you so much. And I know we went over time a little bit, but thank you, thank you, thank you. So many good nuggets. We all cannot wait for your launch on the 23rd, and just to start getting plugged into that and just bringing more value to people. So when we get done with these calls, we always like to take a few 5-10 minutes at the end and do some takeaways and some implementation. So thank you again for being here. I really appreciate it. You guys go show her some love on social.
Yeah, find me on social, grab the guides so that we'll stay connected on email. And I promise to just shower you guys with a lot of value. Tamika knows the value that I give, and she wouldn't put me on her platform if she didn't know that I was going to take care of you guys. So thank you guys so much love. Go crush it this week. I'm challenging you. Let me know how it goes, Tamika. I want to hear some success stories. Okay.
You got it.
Okay,
Thank
girlfriend. Ciao. Love you guys.
Oh my goodness. So exciting. I've got lots of good notes here. So biggest takeaways, what are you implementing now? Let's hear them. Oh, let me make it so you guys can unmute. Okay. Oh wait, no, I just made it so you can't unmute. You guys were unmuted the whole time.
I'm going to implement the $100 or the 100 people challenge. I know at least 100 that I haven't got to talk to yet, so I'm going to do that.
If you're doing it, write 100 in the comments. And then I want you to pick out one name of somebody who wrote 100, and I want you to message them when yours is done. Okay, so 2-part step. Pick out one person's name in there, maybe the person who wrote it above you. And when you're done with your 100, go hold them accountable to see if they got their 100 done too. Brandy says 1,000. She's 10xing that baby.
So I'm going to put my follow-up list on a Google document, because my names don't all get put on there because my list is never with me.
Good. 1 live a week, Allie says. Love that.
I like the part where she said about recruiting up and trying to get those people who, already are comfortable with social media, already kind of have a following, and already do influencer like things. Because I know for me, I guess I kind of see those people and I kind of shy away. I'm like, maybe they kind of already have their thing going and they don't want to, interrupt it. But I definitely need to start being, offering my business more to people who are like that, because that would make it so much easier than, starting with people who just don't have a good knowledge of social media and they're just here but don't really know what to do, and also just warming the algorithm. So yeah.
Claudine, start crossing people off my list. I love that. So I'm just going to cross you off my list, and if something changes, you can get a hold of me. Like, I'm using that. I'm committed to getting that book and listening to it. Maybe that can be our next book club or challenge book for next month or something. I think that'll be really good. I love that she said, okay, so you guys top rank in our company's ambassador, right? And for her to hit the top rank in her company, 120 days. Okay, how many of you guys would push so hard for 120 days to reach ambassador, right? And then how many leaders came out of that? Okay, Ambassador Diamond's like 128 distributors. How many did she say? 3 to 4, right? So you guys who have people underneath you, you're doing pretty dang good. If you have people underneath you who are working, who are posting, who are showing up, you're doing pretty darn good. So instead of thinking, oh, I don't have a working team, oh this, oh that, the reason why you are where you are is because you keep thinking that. Okay, top rank in the company, she had 3 to 4 people who took it as if it was an actual business. Who were your people, who didn't need to be reminded to be on calls, who didn't need to be told what to do every day because they could do it on their own, right? Ambassador Diamond, 128 distributors, 3 to 4 people that actually would work their business on their own. And, you know, we're so blessed that we have the systems in place, and there's 53 people on this call. There were 73 earlier, right? We have a lot of leaders on this team. So our numbers are like well above average, but how many of us are really doing what we need to do every day consistently to get where we want to go, right? And she said, you know, how many of you guys know your income that you want to make? Most of you guys know, but how many of you guys have no idea what volume that is, what rank that is? I've made every personal income from, I think my first check was like $150 to over 5 figures. So you tell me what you want to earn. I'll go look in my commissions and I'll show you exactly where I was when I earned that, what volume I had, how many distributors I had. I'll show you exactly what you need to hit it, but then you got to make sure that you set up the daily task list to represent the work that it's going to take. So what that means is if I say you need, you know, to be double diamond, you need to have 25,000 in volume, then how many people do you have to get through before you sign a 30 BD customer or 100 BD customer, you know, with the upsell or whatever it is. And so like, it's possible for everyone, but you really have to know what the work is and you have to be willing to do it. And it's worth it. It is so worth it because now here she is, a multi-million-dollar earner, and she literally controls her time. She said that she doesn't really put in a lot of work to her network marketing business anymore because she's doing a lot of this network marketing coaching, right? So she gets to do what she really, really loves, but her network marketing business keeps going up. It keeps paying her because of the work that she did. And that's what's so powerful about network marketing, you guys, is you are going to get paid over and over and over on the work that you did yesterday, on the work that you did last week. But guess what? If you took a break last week, now you're 3 weeks behind because you took a break, right? And you got to make up for that lost time. So consistency is key, knowing where you're going and then setting up a game plan. You guys know that I'm willing to help you with anything. Okay, I'll help you create anything, I'll help you do anything, but you are the one that has to do it. You are the one that has to show up every single day and make it happen. You're the one that has to bring value to your market, because we talk about it all the time. You don't add friends who are already friends with someone that does it works, right? So you don't get to tap into my market. I don't get to tap into your market. You have got to create it, and you've got to find a way to keep your pipeline full. So last thing that I want to talk about is this freebie. Okay. So she said, I spent thousands of dollars. You guys, I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on her mastermind course, which is why I'm so grateful that she did this, because I'm like, oh, squeezing out a little bit more value on that. But my very first freebie was 5 nutritious meals for the busy mom. And you guys, I don't even know how to spell nutritious. That was the worst title I could have ever had. Like everything, like every website, I was like, nutritious. How do you even spell this word? It didn't even feel like a real word anymore, right? And I made this amazing freebie because I was like, if I can just get all of these moms who want these 5 nutritious meals in just a few minutes, if I can just get these moms to want this freebie, then I can sell them on a drink to go with it. And that was my grand master plan, you know, but I had to start, and it really flopped bad. My website was ugly, and you guys aren't going to do websites or anything like that, but we are, those of you who want to, we are going to create a freebie, and we'll design it just on over or something like that, where you can just send it to them in a personal message. I will show you how to do an email list on your own personal email account. So you're not paying for the Aweber like I am until you want to, until you're ready, if that's the route that you want to go. But I can show you how to get them plugged into an email where then you can say, hey, we've got this online party that's going to teach you more. And then we just send them the link to the online party, right? Because it's going from exposure to exposure. And so if we can create something that is in your realm that you're passionate about, that can also link back to the business. Okay. And that's the hard part, is trying to be creative, because you don't want to make something. I know Kelly Jo, you said 3 ways to make the skinny brew. That's fine. And people want that, but we want to do something for this type of thing that's not necessarily business related, that will bring value to more people. And so I think about Mandy. Are you still on here, Mandy? You know, Mandy could go live once a week and read her cards, right? And if she's just like, it's Mantra Monday with Mandy, you know, and every Monday she reads her cards, and, you know, and then on Friday she, like, this is genius, by the way. So I hope you're taking notes. Okay. Monday morning mantra with Mandy. Okay. Anyway, and then on Friday, she gives a freebie that's like 10 affirmations that will change your life, right? And so then she's like sending this freebie that's like 10 affirmations that they can read every single day. And we know that 10 affirmations, that's going to be good if they just woke up and read them every morning, right? And then maybe she's like, then maybe her next email is like, I would love to invite you to my morning mindset call at 6 a.m. You know, so maybe she sends an email and she gets them plugged into the morning mindset, and then they can see like what the culture is like and what she gives. And so now she's got more value, right? And then she's like, now I can actually teach you how to do this and make money. So now it's like Make Money Mondays with Mandy. And now she's like plugging them into the business and being able to like offer value that way, because now Marina's just dying, but now they have more value in what she has to give. And so now they respect her as a leader and want to make money with her. Right? Or maybe she's like, make sure you get your sleepy tea so that way you can wake up early in the morning. And so here's your sleepy time package, where you're going to get like skincare and you're going to get sleepy tea at night, you know? And that's the package that she offers with her mindset stuff. Like, are you guys seeing how this like can really flow together? But it's got to be something that you're passionate about. And we've talked about this all last week, being passionate about something, right? Like, what are your strengths? What are you passionate about? And some of you guys haven't figured that out yet. Okay. And then the other key piece to being able to create a good freebie, and we took a full 2 weeks on this in the mastermind group, is creating your audience. Okay. And I have all the papers saved. And so I think it'll be really important. And I want to do this with you guys, where we can go through all of the things that she taught me in the mastermind. So that way, when it comes time to write a freebie, you guys have worked out all the kinks and you don't spend all your time making 5 nutritious meals. Okay. So we'll be able to kind of like work through it, so you can learn from my mistakes with it. But like, do you feel like, you know, you can go live on something once a week, you could develop something of value to be able to give to people. You guys can use the same thing over and over and over again, right? Deliver something with value. And this is like a fun way, I feel like, to work your business. And it's not that you have to like you really can just provide value and then plug them into something that's going to educate them about what you have. And then they're going to turn over as customers, as long as you have the follow-up. Okay. Because follow-up is key. I mean, it took me 2 years to be able to buy this program from her. Okay. Like, it took me a long time of watching her, taking her freebies, hopping on our webinars, watching her YouTube videos, for me to be able to invest the money that I invested in this program. But for her, it's worth it, right? And so now here I am sharing her with 50 other people, right? And so, you know, you guys are going to take advantage of her free stuff. And then maybe some of you guys are going to invest in it. And I feel comfortable with that. Normally, I don't invite third-party people into something like this, but it worked for me. It's working amazing for me. And I'm enjoying what I'm doing. And I'm still active messaging. I'm still posting on Facebook. I'm still inviting people to parties. But now I'm doing this on top, and it's really helped me grow my Get Fit business. You guys know, who are plugged into my emails right now, you're going to get Fit Tip Friday tomorrow, where I'm giving you guys a recipe. I'm giving you guys some affirmations. And like, so now like I'm able to give more value. And so now, you know, complete strangers are coming into my group and wanting what I have. but I've been building this for the last year, and so it's not overnight. It's not going to happen on your first one. It takes time, growth, energy, effort, and consistency. Okay. So I need a drink. Does anyone want to share anything before we hop off? I know I'm a little bit over.
I want to shout out my new distributor, Katrina, who jumped on this call for the first time. And if I could think about a most amazing call to be on for your first day with the business, this is it. Like, so that's time.
I love it. Thanks, Tammy. Ooh, I like Carrie Ann's idea. I can't say that word, but feng shui Friday, maybe? Declutter your home, cleanse and detox to declutter your body. It's a great idea. And if you guys don't have ideas right now, when we do these prep calls for it, just hop on. Maybe you'll get an idea from somebody else, or maybe you want to team up with somebody else. More hands make the load light, I think is how it goes.
I think at one point we did I don't know. I remember one time we did like the belly buster challenge. Well, I know I did one time where I saw a lot of target trio because I was targeting mom who really just wanted to lose the belly. So I did the fat fighter, the cleanse, and the wraps.
So freebie would be really simple, like 5 belly blasting foods that really target belly fat or something like that, and so then you do the research, you find the different foods, and then voila, some of those foods are in our products. Did you know that now you don't have to go to the store and buy it because you just have it right here, right? You're definitely strategic about it. And then you create some kind of challenge group, you get people plugged in, you create some kind of boundaries between it, like, are we doing before and after pictures? How are we doing a check-in? How are we doing accountability? How are we setting them up for success? And then customers start coming in. Like, this is going to be huge for those of you who are ready to run with it and willing to just fail forward and create something and launch it, even though it may not be ready, because then your next one will be even better. And then your next one will be even better. One thing that she said during our whole mastermind group is, done is better than perfect. So sometimes we just ship stuff out before it was up to par what we wanted, and we'd fix it later, and so done is better than perfect. All right, I gotta hop off because Carrie Ann's got her book club in 3 minutes. Thank you guys for being here. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you got some value out of that, and make sure that you do send her some love on social, just tagging her in your stories, or don't go at her as a friend. Okay, you can follow her. Okay, you can follow her, you can tag her in the stories, but we're not adding friends. Okay. All right. Bye, you guys.